Hey guys, what's going on and welcome back to a brand new video, and today we've got a different one. We're going to be combining Manchester City and Manchester United, seeing how the squad looks combined together and also seeing how they do for a season in the Premier League, seeing what they can win and seeing if they're better off or worse off. But if you guys do like these types of videos, please do smash the like button on this one and please do subscribe to the channel. It's completely free and it does help the channel grow. But let's get into the video. So, the first thing we've done is we have taken over Manchester United and we've transferred all of Manchester City's players into this team. Now, we've got to do the registration, so that'll be how we pick this team. Now, I know I'm a Manchester United fan. I will admit majority of these players getting into the starting 11 are going to be Man City. Depending on what it picks, I will tweak it here and there because I do want to see a bit of a combined team to obviously make this video more combined than just literally Man City. But I will say now, before anyone, that if you see me putting a controversial player in, doesn't necessarily mean that I think they're better. But let's go and have a little look then. So we're going to do the squad registration. Obviously, this does mean that Man City are now a pretty irrelevant team in the league. So obviously that they will be going down because they have got, yeah, this is who we're left them with. They've literally got no one. But let's have a little look then, because we've got to do the squad registration anyway. But we'll clear the selection. Now, obviously, we're allowed a maximum of 25 players. You don't have to register anyone that is either, obviously, under 21 or, I believe, homegrown. So, a few of these players, including Erling Haaland, we don't need to register. But let's have a little look then. So, the idea, how I'm going to split this up is, I'm going to try and get pretty much 2 positions of each position. So you got 1 City player, 1 United player. So let's have a little look then. So the first 2 goalkeepers are pretty basic. We'll go Ederson and David De Gea. Pretty straightforward there. Right. In terms of right backs then. So Aaron Wan-Bissaka, no. We obviously want, where is he? We will have João Cancelo, obviously. We'll have him. See, this is where it gets controversial now, because the point is to completely have a split of team. So obviously, in my opinion, I would probably go with João Cancelo, sorry, and also Kyle Walker. But because this is meant to be a split video, we're going to go with Cancelo, and we are also going to go with, where is he? Diego Dalot, because I think that is United's best right back. So this is the whole point. So I hope you guys do get this type of video. I'm not saying that Dalot's better than Kyle Walker. I'm not saying that, but obviously I really like the idea of this because you're going to see a mixture of both of the, you know, obviously both teams in Manchester literally combined together. So centre-backs. Now we can have a few centre-backs. We'll go with 4. So we're going to go with 2 from City, which obviously are going to be, let's take Ruben Diaz. I'm not going to go with their new man, Akanji. He is a good centre-back, but I just don't think he really fits it for me. And I'm going to go with Laporte as well. And we are going to take, from Manchester United, we are going to take Martinez. And they ain't got another good centre-back, have they? We've not got another good, well, Martinez, you know. Now, we're going to have to break the rules on this one, guys. We'll take Akanji for the culture. I'm not putting Harry Maguire in this. I'm not putting Harry Maguire in this at all. It's an absolute disjustice. Right, so now we're going over to the left backs, and we are going to go with Luke Shaw because he's actually really good on this game. What about PSG? Okay, but we'll take him in there. So for Luke Shaw, so you do need to register homegrown? Oh crap, we've got to pay attention to this as well. Minimum of 8 players trained in England. We've got to pay attention to that. So we'll pick the positions first and hopefully it doesn't sort of mess us up, but we might have to actually tweak this. In fact, is what we're going to do, what we will do, purely to help reach that number, we are going to have, let's have Harry Maguire in there. Why not? Why not for a laugh? We'll get Harry Maguire in there. He won't start anyway. In terms of left backs then, so Luke Shaw and... See, Man City's left back is typically Cancelo, isn't it? What I'm going to do then is, I will have. Kyle Walker. Get Kyle Walker in there. Another fullback. Why not? Why not? And he's homegrown as well. Midfield. Now we're playing 3 in midfield, so I'm going to try and have 6 midfield players. Obviously, we can go back and tweak this as we go. Right off the bat, we'll have Casemiro in there. We'll have him. and we will have Rodri for the defensive positions. And then sort of more attacking, or sort of like the pivot type of midfield player. First off, we'll do this. De Bruyne and Bruno. I think that's pretty obvious. And then two sort of like just basically holder midfield players. We will have. I'm a big fan of Gundogan. I'm a really big fan of Gundogan. I'm gonna have to have him in. We've got to be careful because of the homegrown. We're only sitting at 3, but obviously we've got a few players in the attack that probably are going to help us reach that. First off, we need Bernardo Silva in, so we'll have him, and we will have. This is difficult now because Man City's midfield is incredible. We're going to go with Gundogan. I'm a big fan of Gundogan, really big fan of him. Right, in terms of attack, then. So. I think this is where Man City are going to take over. Let's just see how many people we can have. We don't need to register Haaland. We do need to register Rashford. Ronaldo, we need to register. Julian Alvarez, we don't. Sancho, we don't. Grealish we'll have in there. Jadon Sancho, we don't. He's under 21. Riyad Mahrez will have in there. Haaland, obviously, it's a blessing that we don't need to register some of these players, because it does mean now that we can probably have a few more players than what we actually thought. So we are going to go with Phil Foden. We don't need to do. We'll get Eriksen in there. Why not? Am I missing anyone? I don't want to annoy any City fans in here. Let's get Calvin Phillips in there, the new man, because that guy hasn't touched grass yet. So let's get him in there as well. Defense. I feel like I'm lacking in defense, possibly. Let's get a Kanji in there. Why not? Let's get a Kanji in there. Who am I missing then? The Phil Jones, Harry Maguire. Harry Maguire's in, isn't he? Harry Maguire's in. John Stones, Varane. We need Varane in there. Good God, I do apologise, United fans. Do not slate me. How I forgot about him, I do not know. Jesus. I'm going to get butchered. We have got... Who else can we whack in here then? I'm not getting Fred in there. No shot. Shall we get Donny in there? Let's get Donny in there. Oh, okay. Okay, I see you. Right, we need another homegrown, don't we? Another homegrown. Anyone better than... Let's get him in. That'll do. So that is going to be the team then, guys, basically. That is going to be the registered side. And now what we're going to do is we're going to build this team, basically. So I'll do it off camera because otherwise we'll be here for absolutely ages. I'm going to mix the team. Like I said, it doesn't mean I think they're better than these players. I just want to see a perfect balanced mix of players. So I'll come back to you once I've got the starting 11. So this is going to be the team then. It is a mixture of players. So we're going to start off with Ederson in goal. Right back, we've got Cancelo. Right centre-back, we've got Ruben Diaz. Varane at left centre-back. Luke Shaw at left-back. In the midfield, we've got Rodri, Bruno Fernandes and Kevin De Bruyne. On the right, we've got Bernardo Silva. On the left, we've got Jadon Sancho. And up front, we have got Erling Haaland. Now, obviously, on the bench and reserves, so I'm going to go through the people that we have got registered that can obviously potentially get into the first team and come on as substitutes. That is going to be David De Gea, Laporte, Casemiro, Ronaldo, Kyle Walker, Gundogan, Rashford, John Stones, Eriksen, Martial. I don't know if we actually registered him. I'm not sure if we did. Harry Maguire, Grealish, Martinez, Alvarez, Anthony, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, I believe we possibly done. Obviously, Calvin Phillips, Donny van der Beek. Loads of players, Mahrez, loads of players, absolutely loads of players that can come on and actually, make an impact. And what we're going to do when we go on holiday, I'm not going to do it right now, but I'll show you. We're going to do this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to click, literally, just use current match tactics and this. Because this way, it will switch about that first 11. And that'll give everyone an opportunity to play. And I think that's going to be the best way of giving everyone a shot that we did register, getting some game time, getting some minutes. And what we're going to do is we're going to simulate an entire season, and then we're really going to break down in deep detail all the stats, see how we done, and talk about whether we think they benefited or not. Now, I know I can already see the comments. A lot of people would have liked to see Ronaldo up top, but for me, Ronaldo is a great player. And yes, he's absolutely sensational. But you have to take Haaland in this. I mean, he's the best striker in the Premier League at the moment. You have to take him. He's a new not hot prospect, but he's the hot topic, isn't he, at the end of the day? I'm a United fan as well, so none of these decisions are going to be, if anything, I would have been more biased. Like, I'll openly say now, obviously, Luke Shaw's not there because I think he's the best. If I was building the team, which I think, you know, was 100% the best, and I wanted, pretty much what I'm trying to say is, I would happily have Cancelo here and Kyle Walker on the right. But the point of this video is to mix both clubs and see how they combine. That's the whole point of the video. But let's get into this season then, or into the season results, and see how they do. Before we do get into the end of the season though, guys, please do leave a like on this video and please do subscribe. If this video smashes 10 likes, I'll do a version of this but across London. So we'll combine all of the London clubs and see what we can do. It'll be a lot more tricky, but we'll see what we can do. But let's see how Manchester combined got on. So, we have finished simulating a season, and the results are actually quite interesting. Obviously, we're already seeing big man Erling Haaland there with 67 goals in this team. But in terms of actually success, we managed to win the Premier League. I would say that would be quite expected. Also managing to win the Carabao Cup. Runners-up in the Champions League against Inter Milan, which does surprise me because obviously I did think we had that ability to win the Champions League. But there again, majority of the team are Man City players, and don't want to talk too much on that. But very disappointing, I would say, in the FA Cup. But then it is sort of against Liverpool. That would be the one team that probably could counter our start on 11. In terms of statistics, and then obviously the system, the tactic does play a part in this as well. But obviously we're going to be looking mainly at the players today and see what they've done. So in terms of goals scored, we're talking 136 goals that have been scored. Only 21 conceded as well. So ranking us best in both categories there. And we're going to go over and look at actually some of the actual player stats now. Where did Man City finish? They survived. What team did they end up? Jason Wilcox. What team did they end up playing then? Palmer Arthur, Shelby, Maitland-Niles, Regani. They didn't even have a bad recovery, to be honest. Anyway, let's go and have a little look at the player stats then and see exactly how our players performed, because this is where we're going to see how many actual games certain players got. So we're going to take a little bit of time and actually, you know, have a look. So in terms of, wow, okay. Right, so Donny van der Beek, we're talking 2 appearances, 2 assists. I mean, it's not too bad in terms of that, considering, you know, he's basically delivered on every game that he has played, that being 2. Bruno Fernandes, 47 games, 4 as a substitute, obviously there. 23 goals, 19 assists. Not a bad return. Could be slightly better, but again, definitely not horrific. Kevin De Bruyne, 54 games, and one of them being a substitute, and getting less assists than Bruno Fernandes. So very interesting there, considering Kevin De Bruyne actually plays higher up in the midfield as well. So expected a lot more from him, to be honest there. Well, not necessarily a lot more, but I'd expect him to outperform Bruno Fernandes in this team. Now we go on to Kyle Walker. We're not expecting too much in terms of assists or goals. 35 games played there, 4 assists coming in. Varane actually got himself 12 games, 6 of them being as a substitute. We have got Bernardo Silva, 43 games, 3 being a substitute, 15 assists and 17 goals. Not horrific again. Ruben Diaz playing 51 games, quite a lot of games there, getting himself 8 goals as well. João Cancelo playing 42 games with 10 assists and a goal, so decent from him as well. A lot of these City players are getting a lot of games. The only big game player in terms of the fixtures that we've seen so far, I mean, Varane played in an okay amount of games. We've got Bruno Fernandes played pretty much every game, so he definitely cements himself in that team. Eriksen, 6 appearances and 21 as a substitute, with 8 assists and 4 goals, so quite a commonly used sub. De Gea actually finding himself playing 14 games. Now, no disrespect to David, but I think that he's probably going to be in cups. Getting himself, is that conceded goals? Is it goals conceded 7? So it's all right. John Stones, 2 games, 6 appearances, sorry. We've then got Dean Henderson, but he's on loan. I freaked out. He's on loan. Okay, I was going to say, how has he played that many? Laporte playing 41 games, contributing with 2 assists and 7 goals. Obviously, we're not really focused on the goals and assists. when it comes to defenders, but it's always interesting to see. Ederson playing 45 games. I thought that would be the first choice keeper. He is better than De Gea, to be honest, and especially in a system like this where you are required to play out from the back. Akanji playing 7 games, two substitute appearances as well, so not too bad. Phil Foden playing 46 games, a lot more than what I actually thought, to be honest with you, with 4 appearances as substitutes as well, with 13 assists and 17 goals. Rodri, again, guaranteed to get into the team pretty much. 42 games starting and 2 as a substitute, 10 assists and 2 goals there as well. Only the 3 appearances from Diallo, which surprises me even then, considering that's no disrespect to him, but considering the amount of depth this squad does have. Contributing with an assist and a goal. We've got 3 substitute appearances for Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Anthony starting 10 games, 6 as a sub. Not bad stats, actually. 5 assists and 3 goals. We've got Martinez, obviously Manchester United's new centre-back. Starting 9 games, coming on as a sub 9 times with an assist and a goal. Jadon Sancho, a player who arguably you could get into the team, with 16 appearances, 29 extra as subs, 10 assists and 11 goals. Diego Dalot starting 16 out of the games that we've played, 14 also coming in with substitute appearances, contributing with 4 assists. Luke Shaw, 16 starts, I mean, fair play, 10 as substitutes as well, with 5 assists and a goal. We've got Brandon Williams with, with 8 starts and 5 as a substitute, which is a lot more than what I thought, with an assist. Cristiano Ronaldo, 4 starts, 22 appearances as a substitute, contributing 8 goals. We're then going to go down. There's a few players like Ake here, literally played 1 game and 1 game as a substitute. Substitute appearance for Phil Jones. Fred Tellers is all out on loan. Julian Alvarez plays 5, comes on as a substitute in 6 games, 4 goals. Quite good. Jack Grealish, we're going to have 6 starts, 20 as a sub. Very poor stats from him there, really. Actually, not too bad. I forget 20 as a sub. Casemiro, 13 starts, 21 as a sub. Marcus Rashford, 3 starts, 4 as a sub. Harry Maguire, 3 starts, 2 as a sub. We've got Riyad Mahrez not getting in the team much at all. 1 start, 3 as a sub. Calvin Phillips played more than what he will in his entire City career in this save. 4 starts and 3 as a sub. And Bailly's out on loan. Gundogan with 3 starts and 2 as a sub. And that is Victor Lindelof and Tom Heaton not getting a second of game time in this save. So overall, a very, very interesting stat. We're not going to stop there, though. We're going to go a little bit more in depth because, you know, why not, right? So let's have a little look at exactly what about the dynamics. So team cohesion's good. The team's collective mental state has been a slight improvement. That's always good. The atmosphere is average. Managerial support is excellent. That's decent. Rashford wants to leave. Okay, issues. Oh, Jesus. Okay, so obviously this is what happens when you combine 2 massive teams. You're going to have a lot of players that think they should be starting these games, but obviously when you combine a side like Manchester City, who are the best team in the world, with Manchester United, who I would love to say are the best team in the world because I support them, but they're not, you are going to get issues. That's just how it is. Data hub, let's just have a little look. Obviously, the tactic does play a big part in this. Team attacking, we're talking 3.5 goals a game. At the end of the day, the attack that we've got is absolutely outrageous, so I'd be expecting that. Team defending, again, very, very solid as well. I believe I did as well, but if I didn't, I do shout out this tactic again, because this guy here, GYRFM, is one of, if not the best tactic makers I've ever seen. So fair play to him. In terms of the schedule then, let's have a little look. How do we lose the Champions League final? That's the thing that's playing on our minds. And let's look at the team. So, extra time. Bastoni. What team did we play? Alvarez. I reckon Haaland was injured. Ronaldo obviously didn't start because he came on as a sub. How good's Alvarez now then? Well, that's a controversial decision from the manager there or the assistant. Whoever was in charge of that game. Jesus Christ. Not great at all. Let's just pluck out a couple of random games from here and let's have a little look exactly what the start on 11 was. So if we start off early on in the season, actually I'll tell you what, but 7 mil. I can't click on it. Bernardo Silva, Haaland, Phil Foden. Oh my God. When can we view the fixtures from? Here, right. So Let's pick out a game like against Chelsea, which is in a semi-final. Sancho, Silva, Haaland, Foden, De Bruyne, Rodri, Cancelo, Laporte, Diaz, Walker, De Gea. I mean, it's a very good team. It's probably the team. I think that is the team. No, it's not. I didn't have Foden. So Bruno Fernandes does actually get dropped. If not, he was injured. Obviously, players can be injured as well. You've got Cancelo, Laporte next to Diaz. It's a Man City back four with De Gea in goal. It's a full-on Manchester City midfield and a full-on Manchester City attack, apart from Sancho. So only two midfield play or two United players getting in that starting 11, which, to be honest, doesn't surprise me. So we'll pluck out another game here then. Like, let's go against a team like Aldershot. Obviously, probably a bit of rotation, so it's interesting to see. Here we go. This is okay. So we've got. This is not a good sign for Manchester United fans. I'm throwing it out there. Dubravka, Williams, Diaz, Tuanzebe, Malacia, Martinez, who obviously the CDM, centre-back comes CDM, Van der Beek, Fernandes, Diallo, Anthony, Martial. Now, that is a violation because only one Manchester City player gets into the rotation side. Every other player is a United player. Now, that is disrespect at its finest. Let's go to like a... Man City 9-0, their team is going to be poor. Let's pick out another random game against like an Arsenal. Oh, no, we can't do that one. Well, it's really annoying that. Let's go. We lost this game. Let's see who we played. So we've got Ederson, Dalot, Diaz, Laporte, Brandon Williams getting in the team. Casemiro, Fernandes, De Bruyne, Silva, Foden, Haaland. A decent team there as well. Let's go. Any other losses or any other statement games? 6-1 against Tottenham. Foden, Haaland, Silva, Fernandes, De Bruyne, Rodri, Shaw, Laporte, Diaz, Cancelo, and Ederson. So what we're seeing is that they definitely did, tweak the squad here and there, and they did play about with it, but predominantly it was dominated by Man City players, which I would say is pretty common sense, but definitely, as you saw from the squad, there were players getting appearances for both sides. So, I mean, everyone did get a bit of a look in, to be honest, and that's what I wanted, because I knew, obviously, combining Man City with Manchester United at the current state of the football, Manchester City's squad is obviously a lot better than Manchester United's, but Man United do have some players which could get in the team, especially on this game, where obviously injuries do occur and stuff like that. For me, looking at this, we'll do this to make it interesting. The only players that I personally think could get into this team, if we're talking about that, would be in real life. I'm now on about, and again, please do comment because I really want to start a discussion about this. I would personally, at the moment, purely based off how he's playing, I would really consider putting Sancho in. I think he's having a very, very good season. Other than that, Bernardo Silva hasn't played as much, so again, that is definitely up for discussion. Possibly, I could have put Sancho over on the right, and then we could put Foden back on the left. I would start Fernandes in that midfield, because I think at the end of the day, if you look at the other options, you've got Jack Grealish, who currently isn't really cutting it at Manchester City. Not great at all, to be honest. Casemiro, not the same sort of role. Phil Foden obviously plays out here now. Eriksen, I wouldn't put ahead of him. I wouldn't put Fred ahead of him. Gundogan, again, is the only player that comes close, and I think I'd rather have Bruno Fernandes in this team. The back four, again, this season, you could argue, I mean, it's a very, very strong and very, very potentially biased argument, but, you're looking at the likes of Martinez, who has kept clean sheet after clean sheet since he started. Obviously, the first game was a little bit rough, but ever since that sort of bounce back game against Liverpool, he's played very, very well in that game. He played very, very well in the other games since. I mean, he's not very tall, but I think that's the point which everyone focuses on at the end of the day. I think this guy could keep 10 clean sheets in a row and people would just slate his height. So, again, I'm going to put him in there. I'm going to put him in next to the likes of, well, I won't put him in there now, but I'm just saying, if I was actually going to pick a team that is going to be my personal favourite, you could consider that. I think in the likes of Ederson is pretty much cemented. Right back's pretty much cemented, although Dalot has looked quite good, but I would favour Kyle Walker. Cancelo, for me, has to be in the team. You have got, obviously, the midfield. I think Rodri is a step ahead of Casemiro. I do really rate Rodri as a midfield player. De Bruyne has to be in there for me. Fernandes has to be in there. And obviously, Haaland, for me, definitely has to be in there as well, because he currently is the best striker in the world. And yeah, so for me, that is how I would sort of line up this team. But again, this is all opinion based. Obviously, there's going to be some United fans that'll be like, get McTominay in there. But, you know, let's be realistic. But that is going to be it for today, guys. I hope you guys have enjoyed this slightly different video. Obviously, this week, there is 5 uploads for you guys. So tons of content coming your way. So it really would mean a lot to me if you guys would subscribe to the channel and show some love on this video. I love making the videos for you guys, and I love getting the support back. So please do leave a like on this one and do subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.